Your sales page is the page that gets you paid. Keep watching to make sure you're not making one of these 10 common but deadly copywriting mistakes. Hey guys, it's Alex and I'm back this week with another tutorial on how to write copy the right way. You're gonna wanna pay attention because in this video, I am talking about the single most important piece of copy you can have for your product or portfolio. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner, it's what converts your prospects into paying customers. And if you're a freelance copywriter, it is the highest paid asset of them all. Yes, I am talking about your sales page, or what I like to call your money page. It's the page that gets you paid, which is why it gets a lot of love and attention here at the Copy Posse. It is the fuel that funds your entire business, and it is more important now than ever before. Recently, I've come across so many business owners who are scrambling to scale online and struggling to create, update, and innovate their sales pages in response to the recent shifts in the online marketing climate. That's why I'm doing everything I can to make this skill as accessible and affordable for those of you who need it. So you can write your very own high-converting sales page from scratch and ignite your business ASAP, no matter what else life throws at you. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and subscribe to my channel below and ring that bell to be notified anytime a new video goes live. I have a ton of other tutorials for you to check out on the marketing and copywriting tips, techniques, and templates that are working today. And spoiler alert, be sure to watch to the end of this video for a very exciting invitation that I have for you. Now let's get to it. Here are 10 of the biggest copywriting mistakes that could be killing your sales page conversions. Mistake number 1. You don't have a hook. Your above the fold copy holds prime real estate on your sales page. It's the very first thing your prospect sees, and those few sentences decide whether your prospect will scroll down or peace out. Did you know that 80% of people won't even read past your headline? That is why it is the single most important part of your sales page. It has the hefty job of grabbing your prospect's attention, and in order to do that, you need to have a powerful hook. A concept, idea, or benefit that makes people go, ooh, I need to know more about this. I still see sales pages all the time that simply use the title of the product as the headline, or just generically describe what the product does in a way that leaves you with no itch to scratch. Big mistake. Or when they do use a great hook, it's incongruent with the rest of the page and it's used like clickbait, which is a sure way to lose your prospect's trust. Your headline and hook needs to compel your prospect to keep reading. So it's important that you reel them in by correctly identifying and empathizing with their pain, communicating a powerful and much desired benefit, or wooing them with a unique mechanism, approach, or technique they will not find anywhere else. And above all else, you need to make sure that you're meeting your prospects where they are at, based on their level of awareness around you, your brand, and your product. Which leaves me to mistake number 2, you assume they know you. Depending on how a prospect is actually getting to your sales page, they'll have a different level of awareness about who you are and how you can help them. So when they land on your page, it's really important to think about how much they already know about you at this point on their journey. Are they actually aware that they have the problem you're addressing and maybe they just haven't found the right solution? Or do they know solutions like yours exist, but they just haven't found the right product? Or are they familiar with you and your product already, but they just haven't had a good reason to say yes yet? A good way to assess this awareness is based on where they are coming from. How are they getting to your sales page? Is it through cold ads, a warm list, your social media community, or an affiliate promotion? These considerations are essential so that you can set the right context and provide the right amount of education in your copy. Think about it. A sales page that speaks to an ice-cold newbie would sound totally different than a sales page to a warm prospect. So you want to make sure you're meeting your customers where they are at, or you risk under-informing or sounding completely redundant. More often than not, copywriters and business owners make the mistake of assuming their prospects know them. So they skip right over the indoctrination and authority-building elements of a sales page and jump right to buy my product. And then they wonder why nobody buys. So make sure you're taking customer awareness and campaign context into consideration. That's why having a strategic sales page brief is so important before you start writing. All right, let's move on to mistake number 3. You don't offer a believable solution. So the section following your headline copy is usually where you indoctrinate your prospect by empathizing with what they're going through and assuring them that you found a way to help them get out of their currently frustrating status quo, whatever that might look like. So the goal is to first correctly identify your prospect's problem, speak to their pain, and then introduce a believable solution that will help them overcome that pain. Only then do you pivot to your product and position it as the simpler, faster, or easier way to get there. So a massive mistake I see a lot of copywriters and business owners make is go right from problem to product. Like, oh, you're stressed, buy my stuff. You're overweight, buy my stuff. You can't sleep? Buy my stuff. Remember, your prospect is not after your product, they are after the outcome that your product can potentially bring them. So you need to validate whatever pain points or concerns they have as a result of the core problem they're experiencing, and then help them believe in the solution that you're about to recommend, all before gracefully offering your product as the way to get there. So I actually call this the wheel of persuasion, and I'll share how you can learn more about that at the end of this video. All right, mistake number 4, you prioritize features over benefits. So I have been saying this for weeks now, but it's because it is still the rookiest mistake that I see copywriters and business owners make in their copy. As I just mentioned, people don't buy the product, they buy the outcome of your product. That is the end goal. They're investing in the emotion, the convenience, or the relief it can deliver, not the size, the capacity, or the quantity. This is why in their marketing, Apple focuses on the experiences that their iPhone can create before they lay out all the specs in a detailed list of features somewhere towards the end of their sales page. You don't buy an iPhone because it has massive storage or a mega high pixel camera. You get it because you want spectacular photos that capture your experiences beautifully, and you want to immortalize as many of those memories as possible. Do you spot the difference? So whatever you do, avoid the mistake of neglecting the benefits. Yes, it is important to include product features, but help your prospect imagine how you could make their life better or easier with them. That is the romance of sexy sales copy. All right, mistake number 5, you didn't bring backup. Remember, not every single prospect who lands on your page knows you, so you need to address their inner skeptic and answer the question, why should I buy from you? You could have the greatest product in the world, but no one will know that if you first can't get them to believe that you're the person they should put their trust in. So yes, you need to back up your copy with some major street cred. Do you have social proof or case studies, testimonials from customers or peers, the right credentials and experience to make you the expert on the subject matter? I still see sales pages all the time that rely on phrases like research-based or backed by science or doctor approved, and they just leave it at that. But in today's savvy online marketplace, your prospects can smell BS from a mile away, and they're not easily duped by hypey claims. You mean not everything on the internet is true? So yes, it's important that you include social media and validate your authority. Aside from testimonials and reviews, you can also include education or professional credentials, media and press coverage, stages or events that you've appeared at, and social media data if you have impressive numbers. This is a major trust builder that gives your prospect the comfort of community, knowing that others have used your product to overcome the same problem that they have. And I shouldn't have to say this, guys, but I'm going to only include social proof and credentials that are authentic and true. All right, mistake number 6, you don't have a value price gap. So of course, part of writing a sales page is sharing the price. However, the price alone is never what gets someone to buy. They buy because of the perceived value that they are getting at that price. And it still shocks me how many sales pages I see that simply say buy now for $1,000, but give no context around why or how that's actually a good deal. So if I asked you if $1,000 was a good deal for a product, you would have absolutely no way to answer that, because in order to say yes, you first need to know the value. When the value is greater than the price, it's a good deal. When the value is less than the price, it's obviously a very bad deal. So one of the best ways to make your product a no-brainer purchase is to increase the gap between your price tag and the value that your prospect is actually getting. One way to do this is through something called price juxtaposition, where you compare your offer to a higher priced alternative that offers the same benefit. So for example, does your product come with additional features that other brands don't have or charge extra for? Does your offer come in a package or bundle whereby getting the features individually would just cost way more? Does your product help your prospect save money by getting the same benefit from you versus somebody else? Communicating the value of your offer is absolutely critical to getting people to say yes, and you guessed it, the higher the value price gap, the more irresistible your offer will be. All right, mistake number 7, you don't give a reason why. So another mistake that I often see copywriters and business owners make is not sharing why they are making an offer. This can turn your prospect into a skeptic and make them question why you created the product, why you're having a sale, and why they should get it now and not later. See, our brains are far more likely to believe something is true, real, or legit when a reason or justification is given. So when offering a discount or using any sort of scarcity, clarify the reason behind it. Is it because of a special event like Labor Day, a limited inventory, or are the doors closing? Simply using the words because or that's why in your copy can really help overcome skepticism and get more yeses, because it makes your offer more believable in the minds of your prospect. All right, number 8 on my list, your call to action isn't clear. Relying on a single button somewhere on your sales page to get your prospect to take action is a very risky move, especially if your copy is long and involves a lot of scrolling. A lot of people are more skimmers than readers, myself included, so you want to make sure your call to action is conspicuous, even for those who aren't reading every single word. It's so important to have clear, easy to spot calls to action several times on your sales page. This isn't just functional on a practical level, but it also seeds the action you want your prospect to take in their minds as they explore your offer. And whatever you do, make sure your call to action is always the very last thing people see on your sales page. Since quite often when someone goes, "Yep, I'm ready to buy," they just make one swift to the bottom, and if the CTA isn't right there in front of them, you're actually forcing them to go search for it and they may leave. All right, mistake number 9. You create confusion. So have you ever read a sales page and you end up more confused than when you started? Sometimes in an attempt to sound cheeky, creative, or cute, copywriters and business owners forget some of the most important left brain information your customer needs to actually make a decision, like how to buy, next steps, or where to access the product. So make sure to tell your prospect exactly what to do and give them the assurance that they'll be taken care of as soon as they've placed their order. So do they get an email once they've purchased? Where and how can they access their product? How long will it take before they receive it? All of that kind of stuff. Make sure to answer all those what, where, when, why, how questions right near your order section to make them feel safe and supported. All right, and lastly, mistake number 10, you don't overcome objections. Many copywriters and business owners often forget to address their customers' objections head on, almost as if they're afraid that if they call them out, people will be like, "Yeah, exactly, that's why I'm not buying." But by addressing objections, you're actually creating a lot of trust and helping them get over that fence. So a great place to do this is in an FAQ or frequently asked questions section on your sales page. I like to use the FAQ section to recap offer information, clarify next steps, and answer any questions that are still lingering in the mind of my prospective buyer. Now, be as specific as possible, because if you keep your answers too generic and unhelpful, this might cause frustration because they'll have to scroll up and down to find the information they need. Remember, if a prospect is actually reading your FAQs, they are hot leads. So you want to make sure you're giving them clarity, confidence, and assurance that they're making the right choice. Now, if you are cringing right now because you've made some of these mistakes or are slightly freaking out because you want to make sure you never make them, I have a really exciting invitation for you. At the link below, you'll find out more about my highly anticipated Write and Ignite challenge, where I will teach you the exact sales letter formula and writing process that I've used to help dozens of businesses execute multi-million-dollar launches and countless students land high-paying copywriting projects and clients. And you're gonna learn it all in just 5 days. Yeah, you heard me. Here's exactly what you're gonna learn. On day 1, you'll discover my quick start copywriter checklist, how to create a bomb-ass sales page brief. On day 2, I'll explain the wheel of persuasion, those 6 P's to keep them reading. On day 3, you'll get my hot offer matrix and learn how to map an irresistible offer. On day 4, you'll get what everybody wants, my highly coveted sales page formula, 16 steps to crazy good conversions. And finally, on day 5, we'll finish it off with my hot headline formula, how to get attention with 3 powerful hooks. So whether you're an entrepreneur who needs a high converting sales page that actually works in today's online marketing climate, a new coach or consultant who is ready to put your work out there, but you don't have thousands of dollars to pay a copywriter yet, or you're a freelance copywriter who is struggling with a client's sales page and you want fast track guidance to get high quality copy out in under a week, or you're an aspiring copywriter who wants to have a freshly minted professional sales page in your portfolio so that you can get clients ASAP. Yes, this challenge is for you. So go ahead and click the link below to find out how to get in on that. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Here are some videos for you to check out next, and I will be back next week with a brand new video. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm Alex. Ciao for now. Simply using the words because or that's why in your copy can really help you overcome skepticism and get more yeses.